Many console, computer, and online role-playing games use on-screen text to summarize quest objectives for your character. This method helps you focus on your goals and keep track of your progress in reaching them. But what about tabletop RPGs? The party speaks with a townsperson, agrees to aid them in some way, and then runs off into the woods to fight goblins? What about the quest? Do they know exactly what their goal is? Do they remember who sent them? Do they even remember what they agreed to do? While the players are certainly allowed to change their minds regarding previously accepted quests when new opportunities or challenges present themselves, there are times when the party simply gets distracted during the adventure and forgets all that they intended to accomplish. Another related issue is that they may not know what their exact goals are in relation to a quest. In addition, minor errand quests can be forgotten simply because they are overshadowed by the main storyline of the adventure. This is where quest text comes in. By incorporating video game style quest text into an adventure, a dungeon master can help the players focus on the goals they have set for themselves in the adventure, as well as give them more concise milestones by which they can gauge their progress. Not to mention, they're much less likely to forget about a simple task they agreed to do when a summary of that task is right before them. So how can a DM use quest text in-game? The main question here is what mediums you are using in your game. If you run a simple game with handwritten notes and handouts, quest text can follow that same pattern. Just write out the quest summary and objectives and give the players this handout once they've encountered or agreed to the quest. For more tech-savvy DMs, a black and white or color printout with the same information will do the trick. If you use a computer or television monitor in your game or are running your sessions online, an image editing program will let you create a detailed digital graphic for your players. Regardless of the medium, quest text should generally follow a simple pattern, although this can be modified by each DM depending on their own personal style and how their players best take in such information. First, give the quest a title. This doesn't need to be anything complex, as long as it's related to the task at hand. Second, who is giving the quest? This can be an NPC who directly speaks to the party about the quest, or it could be an environmental factor that forces the characters into it. The location may also be relevant, especially if the party must return in order to complete it. Next, what is the party expected to do? Once you know all this information, combine it into an opening sentence for the quest. Who or what is giving the quest, where they are located, and what do they want done? If the quest is fairly simple, the title and opening sentence may be all you need to relay it to the players. Some quests, however, are a bit more complicated. Are there multiple steps to complete the quest? Does it use special rules? That is, does it require something more complicated than a single skill check or attack roll to accomplish the goal? If so, list these as bullet points rather than part of a paragraph or narrative, so the players can reference them more easily during the course of the quest. If the quest has multiple steps, especially steps that can be completed in any order, or requires the party to gather multiple items, add a checklist so the players can mark off each step completed or item gathered. This is another method of keeping the party focused and on the right path, rather than letting them inadvertently backtrack or spin their wheels. Without quest text, they may have trouble keeping up and consider the quest to be overly complicated. Finally, there are a few things you should avoid including in your quest text. Mentioning rewards promised by the quest giver is fine, but leave it at that. Don't include such things as experience point rewards, expected loot from monsters, or anything else they wouldn't specifically know about prior to completing the quest. As with experience points or rewards, don't list any other numerical rewards in the quest text that you might use in your campaign, such as reputation with a faction, honor gained, or anything similar. These can be handled at the end of the quest or session, but will only bog down the quest text and give it too much of a video game feel. Using quest text is about adding comprehension to the game without taking away immersion from the story. If used properly, quest text can help and add depth to your role-playing game, help it run more smoothly, and provide the players with additional encounters and options neither you nor they had previously considered, improving the overall experience for everyone.